So, how has Orderdesk's company culture evolved from its inception to where we are today? And what core values sort of stand out as important for us to establish and to maintain even as we're growing? What sort of is the foundation for that? Why do we do it? And what does it mean for us to have those values as a company?
Yeah. So when I first started Orderdesk, it was just me. I was a freelancer. I'd never hired anybody. I'd just been doing my thing. And as Orderdesk grew and became more successful, needed more help, I realized I've gotta hire here. And it was terrifying. It was terrifying because you've got this thing that's your baby that you care about so much. And it's really scary to have to spend time and effort training somebody and then hope that they care enough and that they're not going to just, do something terrible. And it's a scary thing putting yourself out there. But when I began to make those first hires, it was really encouraging to see that there are wonderful, great people out there, and it's so neat to see the people. There's just to see other people bring their personality and their life to what Orderdesk is. I found that it had always been about kind of the customer and building a big thing and or building a successful platform that could really help people. And I found that when I started hiring people that it became really I found it to be really exciting to build a place that people could thrive and that people would enjoy working, because you have to spend 40 hours a week, a bunch of your week here. It's great to have a place that people can thrive and enjoy what they're doing, and workplace that doesn't suck.
Yeah.
And I found that to be really motivating, actually. And as went through I was going through the first few years of Orderdesk, and I kind of found that there were some things that some kind of values that some of the employees had that were kind of in common. These values that made Orderdesk successful, or made their time at Orderdesk successful, and it was just always kind of a real loosey-goosey thing. But as we grew and as we needed to kind of have more, more structure, we found that that there ended up being really useful to have to kind of list out these core values, these company core values, and it really became really helpful for kind of identifying what it is about Autodesk that makes it special.
And, honestly, those values that you talk about, Chef G, right?
Chef G,
our curiosity, that humility, our empathy, that fun, and our intentional generosity. That's what really stood out to me when I started working here. Even before I started working here, it was something, you dig around on the website, try to figure out what Autodesk is and how do they treat their people inside, and you see the values and you're like, wow. Okay, I hear them talking that talk, but can they actually walk the walk and playing the game and actually being a part of Autodesk? And you're like, oh my gosh, these people actually are generous. They have no problem taking that time out to actually, for the fifth time today maybe, explain, okay, what does this mean? What does this integration do, And that was something that I wanted to keep intentional in our hiring process, right? Because anyone can have the skills, right? Anyone can go out, take a class, do the thing, right? But to actually have those values inside, I wanted to make sure the people we're bringing into this place, it matches the energy that we're already permeating, And I think you taking those intentional steps to be vulnerable or cultivate a less sucky place, it really paid off, And I think it made a space where it's almost like a little community where people can feel okay to be themselves because they know that they won't be judged if they don't know. They know they won't be judged if they're like, can you answer this question again for the third time? Or they can be curious to a fault, and it's okay. And I think that's really special, a special foundation that we have in our company. So I think it's something that it's important that we all kind of safeguard and something that we all kind of be really intentional about.
Oh, you're gonna make me get all choked up here.
Wow.
As I think as leaders, I think it's really important to model that humility of saying, "I don't know," or showing your own mistakes.
Yeah.
I make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
Just 20 minutes ago, I was looking at something I did this week. I really blew it. Whoops. I'm so glad I have people here on the team who could help fix the mistakes I made.
Absolutely. They help you navigate.
Such a blessing to me.
Absolutely. You don't feel like you have to be like, oh God, where's that carpet? I need to pull this carpet over. Cover this up. No one needs to see this. But instead, I'm like, hey,
exactly.
Can you help me get this stain off the carpet? Looks a lot like wine. Can you help me?
Yeah. Yeah. And you mentioned the hiring piece, and I think that's so important too, because it's one thing to sort of start out with these values as a framework, but as the company's growing, you want to maintain that energy. And I remember feeling the same way when I applied to work here and I saw the values and I thought, they say that, but do they live by that?
Right.
And to see that in practice has been really fulfilling. And to know that as we're growing, we are looking for people who are joining our team who also hold those same values and will bring that humility and that curiosity, have a little fun,
Right.
In the mix as we're continuing to grow, I think is a really special thing.
It is.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's something that others are picking up outside of who we hire. Like I'll have candidates well after the hiring process reach out like, I'm still thinking about how you guys were very intentional in although I didn't, make it to your team, that really thoughtful letter that you sent to me, I'm still thinking about it. You know why? Because I'm still waiting for 30 other companies to at least respond to me, to even notice me. And you guys saw me. It may not have been the relationship I needed, but that redirection was special. It didn't feel stale. It didn't feel
robotic. It was you're talking to a human.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was there. And I think I'm able to be human because I'm able to have that humility inside. I'm able to empathize for their experience. And it's nice.
So I think something that we've done from a company perspective with our hiring is to be really values focused, as you're saying, something where as we're hiring, we're just constantly asking ourselves, is this candidate, is this a real value that they hold?
Yeah.
Do their personal values really match up with our company values?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even in how we score the candidates, like we have our official sheets, the first thing we look at and identify are the values.
Yeah.
It's the first 5 questions.
So they may be a fantastic person that could maybe even do a great job here, but if those values aren't there, if they don't match up with our company values, it's never going to be a good fit.
It'll be painful for not just us, but for them. To have to put on that mask
Right.
and have to participate in a way that's just not conducive to how you live.
Right.
And I think that's why it works here for us, because these aren't values that we just hold from 9 to 5. These are values we hold 24/7.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.